Hello students. In the very first lecture of the semester this year, we had discussed the syllabus. We had taken the overview of all the 6 units of the course, Information Systems and Engineering Economics. We had seen the course objectives, course outcomes, COPO mapping. I had given you the names of the textbooks also. The ebooks are also with me. So the overview and all textbook, ebooks we had discussed. Plus, we had introduced ourselves also with each other. So directly today we will start with the first unit, some contents from the first unit as per the syllabus. So let us start. Before that, so it is my general practice to read the institute vision mission and then department vision mission before each lecture. So let us go through it. Institute vision and mission. Vision: Pune Institute of Computer Technology aspires to be the leader in higher technical education and research of international repute. Mission for that is to be the leading and most sought after institute of education and research in emerging engineering and technology disciplines that attracts, retains, and sustains gifted individuals of significant potential. Department vision and mission. Vision is achieve academic excellence through education in computing, to create intellectual manpower to explore professional, higher educational, and social opportunities. Mission for that is to impart learning by educating students with conceptual knowledge and hands-on practices using modern tools, fast technologies, and competency skills, thereby igniting the young minds for innovative thinking, professional expertise, and research. So, as this is the very first lecture from the syllabus, rather from today I am going to start the content delivery. So I had read this vision and mission of institute and department. So from next lecture onwards, we will quickly go through these slides, but these slides will be there for each lecture. So students, let us start with the very first lecture of the unit 1 of our syllabus in this online teaching learning process. So let us start. So unit 1 title of the unit 1 is Basics of Management Theory and Practices. So outline of the today's lecture is we are going to cover what is management, 3 levels of management, some examples of management in day-to-day life, personnel and their roles at top level management, personnel and their roles at the middle level of management, personnel and their roles at lower level of management. So let us start. So what is management? So according to Harold, management is an art of getting things done through and with the people in formally organized groups. It is an art of creating an environment in which people can perform as individuals and can cooperate towards the attainment of group goals. So how beautifully the management is defined by the scientist Harold. See, so he is saying it is an art. So given some goals, or you are with some goals with you or objectives, individually you cannot achieve those goals, especially if you are looking for the organizational management, or so there are certain goals of the organization. So as an individual you cannot achieve that goal, so you will have to work in groups, you will have to work in teams and then proceed towards the goals so which helps in your growth also and the growth of your organization also. So that is the definition of management. So let us go ahead. So in general, there are 3 levels of management: top level, middle level, and lower level. So this pyramid you will require everywhere throughout the syllabus, especially the first 3 units of information systems. So the source also I have mentioned here for this slide. So here you can see some what you can say, something written like top level executive coaching, change management, leadership, like then middle level problem solving, team building, lower level like coaching for performance, etc. So all these are the roles or the personnel sitting at the managers at each level of the management. So throughout the lecture or in the next slides, next subsequent slides, we will see all these. So in general, 3 levels of management. So this pyramid you should always keep in your mind. So I would like to give you some simple examples where the management or what is management process. As a management process, what is it? So let us start from home, our home. So first let me clear you. So where the management is required, or rather you should ask, I should ask the question, where the management it is not required, where where you don't have to manage. So everywhere management is required, everywhere. So let us start from our home. Very simple. Again, the pyramid is in front of you: top level, middle level, and lower level. So start from our home. So imagine 3 levels: grandparents, parents, and you. So grandparents naturally at the top level management, parents middle level, and you imagine at the lowest level or the lower level at your home. So why I have given this example is, so with the definition and with this pyramid and with this example, I will explain you these very important 3 core points regarding management. First is decision making power, second is delegation of authority, and report collection. So before actually going to the example, so decision making power. So just again go see this pyramid, decision making power. So when you go from top to bottom, so decision making power it goes on decreasing. So decision making power it is highest at for the top level managers, and it goes on decreasing as you traverse the pyramid from top down. So always remember, so the top level managers, they are having the highest decision making power, whereas the lower level managers or lower level personnel, they are having the least decision making capacity or the power. Like next is delegation of authority and report collection. These 2 terms they go hand in hand. So how? So delegation of the authority. So again start from the top level to the top level. So top level managers alone, they cannot do everything. So they will delegate certain authorities to the middle level managers. Middle level managers again will delegate the authorities, certain authorities to the lower level in the hierarchy, and get the things done. So delegation of the authority again from top to bottom. So you are delegating something to the lower level manager. Again middle level managers will delegate it to lower level managers to get the things done to achieve the goals. Whereas what is report collection or importing the report? So you are delegated, you are here lower level. So the middle level manager, what they will do, they will collect the reports or they will import the reports from the lower level personnel, is it not? And they will forward the reports to top level management. Similarly, top level managers will collect or import the reports from consolidated reports from the middle level managers, and then they will use those reports or the information in the what you can say decision making. So always remember delegation of authority from again top to bottom, and report collection again from bottom to top. And decision making we had seen 3 points, very important, or these are the other terminologies you should know in this subject. So as I cleared in the first lecture that this subject is a management based subject. So a lot of theory is there, and rather forget theory, a number of terminologies in your in the management philosophy you are going to see, and those terminologies, that vocabulary is very, very important. So among these 3 points are important. So again come back to our example, home. So 3 levels, I hope you are convinced: grandparents, parents, and you. So top, middle, and lower level. So suppose the decision or some decision you are want to take at home, like if you want to purchase a new house, or you want to purchase a new house, so how the decision making power it will be. So in that case, for financial and budget related things, your grandparents obviously will have the top highest decision making power. So that's why we are calling them as top level managers or top level. Then then the parents will have a bit limited decision making capacity under the grandparents, and then you at the lower level, at this level, so you are a student now, so you are having a very least decision making power capacity, especially in finance related things. So decision making power, it goes on decreasing from top to bottom. So from home, let us come to the society. So rather in our subject we are going to see the organizational management. So that's why I told that now let us come from home to the society. So organizational management. Again, a very simple example I will give you before actually going through all the means difficult or some complex terminologies or the vocabulary of the management theory. So you will understand, or you will be more convinced. So suppose second example I would like to give. So educational institute. So let us say our college itself, PICT. So why I am giving you this simple example? Because you are a student of our college. So PICT. So how many departments are in their PICT? So 4 departments we are having: computer department, IT, ENTC, and applied science. So as an organization, I will say that it is divided, or the management process in PICT or in a PICT as an organization, it is divided into, or it is categorized in the 3 levels as: at the top level, managers, principal, and deans. These are the personnel. In the middle level, all HODs of the all 4 departments, this personnel will be there. And at the lowest level, or the lower level, will be the each departmental staff. So these are the 3 levels. If you imagine the PICT or any college or PICT, let us say, as an organization. So again, the same thing, decision making power, it goes on decreasing from principal and dean personnel to the HODs and to the department staff. So principal and deans, these personnel, they are having the highest decision making power. It goes on decreasing, and staff members, they are at the leaf nodes, so they are having the least decision making power. Again, delegation of authority is from the higher level to the lower level and to the next lower level. So and the collection of reports or import of the reports, again it is from lower to higher levels. So let us go ahead. So yeah, again we will continue with the PICT or with our college on these 3 levels. So it's better for me to convince you, because you are a student of PICT. So again I will give you decision or some situation which in which you are involved, in which you as a student are involved, plus and the all the college the staff and all are involved. Suppose, let us say, example of the situation is, as a student you will have to apply for internship outside. So you must be knowing the internship coordinator. So first what will you do? You will have to apply for the internship. So you will go to that internship coordinator personnel, that staff member. So that personnel, it is in the lowest level of the hierarchy, departmental staff. One of the staff members from the department, let us say computer department, he is having that responsibility. So you will approach him or her, that staff member, and just you will complete the formalities, and just you will apply or submit the application. That's it. So this is the lower level. So what that internship coordinator will do, that staff member, he or she will collect all the applications from the department departmental students, and consolidate them and generate a report, and that staff member, internship coordinator, will forward the report to the next level, that is HOD level. Are you getting? The lowest level. Let us start from the lowest level in the pyramid. So departmental staff, internship coordinator is there. Suppose one of the staff members, consolidated report of all internship forms and all that, after verification and some recommendation, that person will forward it to the next level, that is HOD level. So what HOD will do? HOD, that personnel will again recommend, just go through the consolidated report and add his recommendations, and then again forward those reports to the next level, that is principal and dean's level, the highest top level it will be forwarded, and the final decision making authority is the principal. So whether you will whether you are getting the permission for the internship or not, it will be decided only by the top level manager, that is the principal personnel. So very simple example. So with this example, I hope you are convinced with decision making power also, delegation of authority also, and report collection also. So we will go ahead. So for the rest of the lectures, for the rest of the period in the lecture, so we will see, as mentioned in the outline, personnel and their roles at the top level, personnel and their roles at the middle level, and personnel and their roles at the lower level. So here actually you will see that management terminology. So that you should have in your mind for this, especially for this subject, because there is no specific algorithm or examples or problem solving in this subject. So again, it is a bit different subject, so you will have to remember, or you will have to get convinced yourself, and especially the vocabulary or the terminology is very important. So let us go ahead. So top level, start from the top level management, the highest level in the pyramid. So who are these personnel? So who are these managers who are at the top level? So board of directors, chief executives, or managing director. So just now we had seen the principal and dean personnel, if you see as college as organization. Next, and what they do, or what are their roles, what they do. So again I have marked it in red. So main functions or main roles, major roles are planning and coordinating functions. Planning and coordinating, very important. So the overall planning and everything, that's why it is called as strategic planning or strategic management. So we will go through one by one the roles also. The top management is the ultimate source of authority, and it manages goals and policies for an enterprise. Goals and policies. So for just now we had seen the institute vision, mission, department vision, mission. So it is at the strategic level. So always remember planning and coordinating functions. So single point of contact, everything. Next, the role of top management. So some roles I have listed for you. So quickly we will go through it, and the same exercise we will repeat for the next 2 levels also in this lecture. So roles of top management. Top management lays down the objectives and broad policies of the enterprise. Just now we had discussed. It issues necessary instructions for preparation of department budgets, procedures, schedules, etc. So the budgets means finance related things for the whole enterprise or for the whole organization. So whatever, how many departments or branches are there in that enterprise, so it should cover all the branches or the departments. So departmental budgets, procedures and schedules means finance related things. It prepares strategic plans and policies for the enterprise. So how to run that business or how to run the enterprise? So strategic plans and policies. It appoints the executive for middle level, that is departmental managers, as we have seen in the hierarchy. So lower level managers, that is middle level, it appoints. It controls and coordinates the activities of all the departments. It is also responsible for maintaining a contact with outside world. So just see. So to run the business, that is internal environment, plus top level or strategic management, very important role is to maintain a contact with outside world also. So again, just let us come to this point. It controls and coordinates the activities of all the departments. Again, delegation of authority and collection of reports. It will work here. It provides guidance and direction. The top management is also responsible towards the shareholders for the performance of the enterprise. Then middle level of management, who are the personnel? So branch managers and departmental managers. In our case, just now I have given you example, the HODs of different departments. Who are the personnel? What they do? They do organizational and directional functions. They will have to run or execute their department or the branch with the help of lower level personnel. So they are responsible to the top management for functioning of their department. So they are in between the top management, and they are having their manpower or the personnel. So they will have to get the things done with the help of the personnel at the lower level, and they are obviously responsible to the top management. So whatever comes from the top management, policies and all that, respecting that, they will have to get the things done with the help of lower level managers, lower level personnel. So levels in the middle level. So it's not mandatory that only one middle level is there. So depending on the size of the organization, so the middle level again it can be divided into 2 levels. Let us say senior and junior middle level. So in small organization there can be only one layer of middle level, and in big enterprises, as per the need or as per the size, there may be senior and junior middle level managements. It can happen. Again, roles it will differ a bit. Next, the role of the middle level managers. They execute the plans of organization in accordance with the policies and directives of the top management. They make plans for the subunits of the organization. Rather, they execute their department or all the processes in their department. They participate in employment and training of lower level management. They interpret and explain policies from top level management to the lower level. So they are in between. They are responsible for coordinating the activities within the division or department. It also sends important reports and other important data to the top level management. We had discussed this. They evaluate performance of junior managers. So that is also the task of middle level. So alone, the top level manager alone cannot evaluate the performance of all the personnel in the organization or enterprise. So again, he has that strategic manager or the top level manager or top management delegates that task also to the middle level to evaluate the performance like this. So it is a distributed. Alone one person cannot do anything. So that's why delegation. It delegates. They are also responsible for inspiring lower level managers towards better performance. So encouragement and appreciation and all that. Then last level, lower level management. Who are the personnel? Supervisors, foremen, section officers, superintendents. So the workers. This is the workers section. So day-to-day activities in each branch or each department. So here with our college example, here at the lowest level, the staff members in each department, they will be there. So they will do the day-to-day activities, routine activities, and they will execute that departmental processes, is it? So let us go ahead. So lower level of management, what they do? They are concerned with direction and controlling functions of management. So the roles are assigning of jobs and tasks to various workers. They guide and instruct workers for day-to-day activities. They are responsible for the quality as well as quantity of the production. They are also entrusted with the responsibility of maintaining good relation in the organization. So this is the lowest, leaf nodes. They communicate workers' problems, suggestions, and recommendatory appeals, etc. to the higher level and higher level goals and objectives to the workers. They help to solve the grievances of the workers. So everything related to workers. They supervise and guide the subordinates. They are responsible for providing training to the workers. So I have given you the internship coordinator example. So this is the one responsibility. So in the lower level also, in what you can say, responsibilities are divided among different staff members when we are mapping it to the organization or institute. So this is the thing, this is that thing. They are responsible for providing training to the workers like this. So they arrange necessary materials, machines, tools, etc. for getting the things done. They prepare periodic reports about the performance of the workers and hand out over to the upper level. They ensure discipline in the enterprise. They motivate the workers. They are the image builders of the enterprise because they are in direct contact with the workers. So with the help of these personnel only we perform or we are with our day-to-day activities or routine processes in the department and in the whole organization or the enterprise. So the references slide, this is your textbook. I have already given you the e-copy. Rahul De is the name of the author. MIS, Management Information Systems in Business, Government and Society. So this is the reference section, reference I have used. So that is the end of today's lecture. Before ending, let us revise what you had learned in today's lecture. So in today's lecture, we had seen what is management, then 3 levels of management, Some examples in day-to-day life. I have given you, we had started from home, and I had given you simple example of our college itself. Then 3 levels of management and personnel and their roles at the 3 levels, at the top level, at the middle level, and at the lower level we had seen. So that is the end of today's lecture. Thank you.